Hi friends, welcome back to our channel. My name is Emily, this is Miss Grace. She's 10 months old and we're in the middle of a series called Baby Basics where we're talking about all of the basic things that you feel like you should know but somehow you don't. It's okay, we've got you.
1, 2, 3, funk it.
There's a lot of things you take for granted before you have a baby, like getting a full night's sleep and peeing alone and having your boobs be purely aesthetic. But probably the biggest thing outside of sleep that you take for granted are these.
I love Babywearing. I think it's up there with sleep training as one of my best pieces of parenting advice because it really does save your sanity. Not only is it helpful to just have your hands to be able to do things, but in those early days, it can be one of the best ways to calm your baby down. For the first probably 3 to 4 months of Grace's life, she lived in my Solly wrap. I would strap her to my chest and stand up, and that's how we ate dinner. And it was honestly the only way that we ate a warm meal together in peace. Okay, so I've sold you on Babywearing in general. Now, which kind do you get? There's a couple of different kinds, and I'm gonna go over each type, the brand that I got, and how you can wear them. Before we talk about any specific baby carrier, I do want to mention one little note about safety. So in general, Babywearing is awesome and highly recommended by most pediatricians, but there are a couple things you want to watch out for. One, you want to make sure that they aren't slumped over because that can block their airway and stop them from breathing, which is no bueno. And similarly, you want them to be high enough that you can kiss them. That kind of helps you to keep an eye on them and make sure that they're sitting up straight. And then the last piece is you want to check their hip position. In general, you want their knees and their hips to kind of make an M shape, and that helps protect their little hips from something called hip dysplasia, which does something bad. I don't know what, but it's something bad. It sounds bad, right? The first type we're going to talk about is a fabric wrap. Fabric wraps are great for those first few months when they're still really little, and they can be a little bit tricky to put on, but otherwise I feel like they can take a nap strap to your chest. You can go around, some people are super cool and breastfeed while they're wearing their baby in a fabric wrap. I never figured that out, but if you can do that, go you. Being strapped to your chest, hearing your heartbeat, feeling the movement is probably the closest thing that your baby can get to being back in the womb. And for Grace, it put her right to sleep. And I think she took 2 naps in the Solly wrap every day until we nap trained her when she was 4 months. For my fabric wrap, I have a Solly wrap, mostly because they have excellent Instagram advertising and I like their color choices, and I found a really good deal on Facebook Marketplace. But there's also the Boba wrap and the Moby wrap that I found on Amazon that are significantly cheaper and seem to have pretty decent reviews. So with all wraps, but fabric wraps especially, I know they can be kind of intimidating because you look at this giant piece of fabric and you're like, how the heck do I put that thing on? I have no idea. A friend of mine, hi Christine, actually came over to my house when I was pregnant and taught me how to put my Solly wrap on with a stuffed animal, and I am forever indebted. But in case you don't have a friend who knows how to do that, we can talk about it now, once Grace lets go in the end. The first thing you're going to want to do is find the center. On the Solly wrap and maybe on some others, there's a tag in the middle, and you're going to put that across your belly like this. Grace is waving it back and forth on the ground. So you'll find the center and you're going to put it right above your belly button. And you're going to take it and you're going to cross it across your back and the back. And you pull it up over your shoulders like a backpack. So now you've got it wrapped across your stomach, crossed in the back, and coming up over your shoulders. And then you take these 2 pieces, you pull them together, and you're going to tuck it through this center piece. Just like this. Once you have these 2 pieces, you're going to take them, cross them across your body, pull them to the back, cross them again, and then you just tie it. Once you have it all tied, you're going to want to take the shoulder straps, pull them out over your shoulders. This is a step that I always used to forget, and this helps to distribute your baby's weight across your shoulders so your back doesn't start to hurt. And so now you've got these 2 crossed in front, and then this is kind of like the seatbelt piece that comes up over their bum. And then once you've got it all tied, you're going to grab your baby. We'll see, I haven't done this with her in months. You're going to take your baby, you put them up, and you put one leg through one strap. Hold on enough. And the other leg through the other strap.
And then you take that seatbelt piece, the piece that you put on very first, and you wrap it up over their bum like this. Then take each of those straps that are going across your chest and wrap them under their bum so they're nice and secure. And then the last thing that you do is you take that seatbelt piece and you pull it up over their back. And if they're really little, you can take their head and just tuck it in one of the straps, and that's how they can nap. And even now, she's almost 15 pounds and it's still pretty comfortable. The next type we're going to talk about is a ring sling, which you can technically use for a newborn. I know that people do, but for us, it was a lot of fabric and she was pretty small and I just couldn't figure out a good position for her. So we waited until she had head support around 5 to 6 months, and then we started using this ring sling. In general, this is my go-to right now for around the house. It stays on a hook near our kitchen, and anytime she's feeling super clingy and just doesn't want to be put down, I pop this on and stick her in there, and I can fix a bottle or prep her lunch or just get something done really fast. But in general, this is my go-to if I'm inside, and it's going to be about 5 to 10 minutes because it's really easy to put on. I don't use the ring sling when I'm out walking or if I'm going to have her in there for a little bit because it's just not as comfortable and I don't feel like she's quite as secure. For my ring sling, I have a wild bird. This was actually a gift from a mom friend of mine who sent me the link and just told me to pick a color as a new baby gift. The wild bird slings are pretty pricey. I think they're around 70 to 80 bucks. And from what I could see online, I couldn't find very many cheaper options. So if you know of one, can you post it in the comments so we can find it? But you can also check Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp and see if maybe a friend has one. But the ring sling is really awesome anytime you're inside and you just need something super fast for in and out. So the way that I know how to use the ring sling is in a modified hip carry. Very official term. So this one's for when your baby's a little bit older. So you're gonna wanna take your ring sling and put it over one shoulder and then make sure that this part is pretty tight to your body. So you're gonna wanna take the ring sling, put it over one shoulder, and then get this fabric piece that's hanging to be right about at your belly button level. I feel like this was the thing that kind of weirded me out, was it felt like it was really tight, but that's the thing that's gonna hold your baby nice and snug up to the side of your body. Okay, once you've got it over your shoulder and at the right length, the only thing you have to do to put them in here is to hold them up and then tuck each of their legs in, and then you take this bottom part right here and you just reach through and make sure that it's pulled up under their bum, almost to their belly button. And that holds them nice and tight. And then you can see she's nice and secure, and that was really fast. So because that's so fast, that's why I use it a lot around the house. If I'm gonna prep her a bottle or just hold her for a second while I do something with my hands, this is my go-to. So the last type that we're going to talk about is a more structured carrier, and this is our go-to for walking or hiking or really anything outside. You can see it's pretty big and bulky, and so you do need to wait until your baby again has that really good head control. For us, we also had to wait until Grace was long enough that her head could peek out from the top, because before that it was kind of hitting her right here and her whole mouth and nose was just covered. So you do need to wait. You can check your individual carrier to see what their weight and age suggestions are. But for us, a structured carrier is great for going outside. It does take a little bit longer to put on, which is why I don't necessarily use it around the house, although you could. For our structured carrier, we use a Lily Baby. It was, again, a gift from a friend who had already used it and loved it, and she let us have this one. I know that the Lily Baby was recommended by our doctor, and I know that Babywearing was not. Ooh, pro tip. If you're gonna have your baby in a carrier for a little bit, like you're gonna go on a walk, take a passy clip and hook one on. That way you're not out and about and their passy isn't being spat into the dirt when you're hiking. This saves our butt all the time. For the more structured carriers, unfortunately, this is where putting them in and out is going to be the most specific to the brand. So I would say just search for your specific carrier. For the Lily Baby, we just keep this top part fastened so that I can put it on over my head by myself without needing anyone's help. And then honestly, once I've got the carrier on, I usually need help to actually tuck her in through the top, which is part of why I don't use it in the day-to-day, just if I'm gonna go out on a walk or we're going hiking or something like that. All right, friends, that's all I had for today. I hope that's helpful. I hope you find a baby carrier that works for you, that saves your sanity and helps you use your hands. And that's all. Say bye. Bye.